This is my first time at an Abraham event, and it's wonderful. Thank you. My wife passed away in February of this year. In fact, 2 days ago when I was on the top of the Mendenhall Glacier was the 6-month anniversary, and I spread some ashes up there and poured a little bourbon on it, poured a little bourbon in me. And I've been doing that for about the last 4 months, traveling the country. And I wanted to tell you that my first thing that my grief counselor said to me was, go read the book Law of Attraction. So we can listen to some of them. And that has propelled me into a journey of bringing her with me, consciously feeling her with me. And I raised my hand because some of the things that just happened with the last gentleman, and when you were sort of channeling Ted, and it just made me feel her with me. You said Jerry was with you. Just the more things that happen, and I'm open and aware to her being with me, the easier my process is. And I've always believed, and she did too, that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. I believe that since I was 13. And everything that's coming out of this, is all of it resonates with everything. So it's just very healing and very wonderful. It feels great to be here, and I thank you for that.
Before we leave that topic, we want to say to all of you, so think about all of the dearly not so departed and their interest and attention, because they're looking forward with what's going on here. And think about the trending that provides. That's why scientists who were in on early proving of early theories are still ravenous about where it is now. In other words, they're part of the new. As the vaccines were being developed, the non-physical scientists and doctors were a big part of that energy stream of expectation and exhilaration. That's why it happened in the precise way that it did. Yeah.
So I feel like this whole thing has changed my life. I mean, getting exposed to Abraham Hicks and learning about those things, but thinking about where am I at? I'm 50. What am I going to do with the rest of my life? I want to spend my time doing things that I feel passionate about, and that I feel like I can help the world, things that feel like connect with my gift. So I'm trying to learn the lessons and think about manifesting in those directions, and I'm doing some of it. But what happens is I feel like some divine inspiration. It's not a thing that comes in one particular place, maybe a dream, maybe after a meditation, free writing.
It's coming through your path of least resistance. So it's always queued up, always being offered, and depending upon what's going on with you, that's the way it comes. And some of all of that is wonderful.
So it feels wonderful.
So if you just don't try to dictate it, instead you receive it, you'll enjoy it more.
How do I know when to start acting on it, though?
When you can't stand not to. When the inspiration is so strong.
What if
Esther remembers coming together with Jerry, and there was nothing that was going to deter her from that. Nothing was going to deter her from that. Didn't matter. Nothing was going to. It's that. And you feel like that.
Yes. I don't have really any other questions. I mean, I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to just, feel that. And
it's going to unfold for you in a really comfortable way. Just enjoy it. That's the most important thing. And that's the thing that is the most difficult to get across to our human friends, because you have been action-oriented and you have been thinking that it's your work to make things happen, to sort of prove worthiness through making things happen. And so we like to remind you that through the step one process of knowing what you don't want and knowing what you do want, you've been doing that, making it happen, so to speak. You've been launching the rockets, and that is as much of making it happen that you ever are going to want to do. The rest of it is this natural process, this natural unfolding. And so be easy about it.
And the patience part is where I kind of struggle. So I feel like those first pieces, I'm good at that, but I'm also so used to okay, it's going to shape up like this. Step 1, step 2, step 3. I have it all figured out, and I don't start step 1 until I already know how the whole thing is going to go. This is a change in everything about how I'm approaching it, and I'm clearly understanding, and I'm thinking, and I can vision why what I want feels good, and I can think about that, and I can really, it resonates with me. And then I go, okay, bring that back to the present moment and have fun and move forward. But now I feel like I'm waiting.
This is one of the biggest gifts that the pandemic gave to Esther, because Esther has been accustomed to deciding where she's going to be and when she's going to be there. So she gets the inspiration. She followed Jerry's lead about following the weather, being at the best place at the best time, and also being aware of how the truck that hauls the equipment is going to be able to make it from place to place. In other words, there were those considerations. But she made the decision and then made it so to speak. Well, then the pandemic comes along, and there are things that are out of her control. She can't just say, we're going to do this now. So she began saying, when the time is right. And when the time is right, we will know it. As you know, those of you who have been playing along relative to this cruise for a while, you saw it moving a lot. Several cruises moving a lot. Lots of patience and lots of not so much patience. In other words, it's hard not to live life the way you've planned to live it. But what it has given Esther is an understanding that there's a plan in the vortex, and the cooperative components are always working that plan, which when you begin living that way, you begin understanding that you can give so much of that strain and struggle and that holding of the reins and that keeping the ship afloat, so to speak. You can turn so much more over to the universe than you ever knew. And so it takes some trust and some faith, maybe, that makes you say things like, I know it's working out. I don't know how or when or who or what or where. I just know that it is. And this is the phrase that Esther uses a lot. I'll know it when I see it. She doesn't mean see it. She means I'll know it when I know it. I'll know it when I know it. And so then you just practice being aware of the way you feel. You can feel that gauge. In other words, there's some things that she sort of kind of knows and some things that she really knows. And some things that are focused more sharply and some things that are focused more loosely. And then it just becomes kind of fun. In other words, when you give in to trusting that you're worthy and trusting that there's an entire non-physical contingency who has your back, who trusts you and loves you and knows you and is guiding you, then you spend more time being willing to listen and less time trying to bang things into place. You're good at that.
Just have fun.
Oh, isn't that what it's all about, really? Have fun, but have things of interest and have things that evolve and feel proud and feel eager and have fun and notice things and feel some negative emotion and know you're feeling it and then do something about it. Feel yourself moving up and down the emotional scale and do it with deliberateness. Gain your control. Feel invincible. Feel certain. Feel a little unsure. Feel more certain. Feel a little unsure. Just feel it all and no longer capture a moment in time when you're a little down and make a big deal about it. Say things to yourself like it's all good and like there's nothing serious going on here. And yet it's all so important and powerful and wonderful. You just keep massaging yourself into a place of feeling good. Good?
Yes, thank you.
Really, really, really good. Yeah. So are you clearer after that conversation? Does it feel easier? Do you believe in your own ability to discern your own guidance? Did you know that you could say, inner being, I would like you to make it more obvious for me about my decisions. And your inner being is saying, Okay, you choose what you want. And you could say, twitch my eye if you're enthusiastic about it. Then when you get an eye twitch, are you going to trust that? You could say, give me a little flash in the back of my eye. And when you get it, trust it. Don't say, either my inner being's talking to me or I'm having a stroke. Do you follow us there? You get to establish your conversation with your inner being. Your inner being wants to cooperate with you, wants to give you guidance. We would really like it if your emotions would work, because your emotions are something that you've been trending forever. It might be better to let your emotions guide you than to ask for an eye twitch. But Esther gets eye twitches every day because she says, I want this eye twitch to mean this. And when her eye twitches, she knows it means that. You see what I'm getting at? Ask for something that you can't do. Esther cannot twitch her eye. She can wrinkle her nose. She can stick out her tongue. She can wiggle her fingers. There's lots of things that she would question, but she cannot twitch her eye. So when her eye twitches, she knows she did not do it. We're encouraging you to utilize your guidance system more effectively. Show yourself that you have connection. Show yourself that you have guidance. Show yourself that your inner being is there, and then watch the results as you follow that guidance. It's easy. Takes a little trust, right?